Hello internet, and today is going to be the second half of that book haul. This is just a bunch of books where I'm not really quite sure what the plot is, so I couldn't tell you if there is even a hint of queerness in them. But of course I'm gonna tell you that I bought them because girl knows that I buy enough books that I should be allowed to brag about them. In the background, that is my fan, because I remembered I have a fan and I refuse to turn it off because I have a fan. So we're just gonna go through all of these books that I bought. Hopefully this time I'm not gonna have any weird clips inserted because I think I remembered all of them this time. So let's get into this. Like I said, a lot of these books I have no clue what they're about, so I'm just gonna give you my vague ideas and show you the covers. So the first book is Still Life with Tornado by A.S. King. I know A.S. King is a favorite of Books and Lala, so I am curious about it. I think this book is about a girl who has multiple personality disorder, and she's trying to figure out how to stay herself while she has all sorts of like different hers as well. I think it's like her as a child and her as an adult, and then her as 16 is the main character, but like they're all living the same life at the same time, so it sounds like multiple personality disorder. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's nothing like that and I just picked this book up for no reason, but you know what, that's just how life goes. Next we have Chainmail Bikini, an anthology of women gamers. This is a graphic novel with like different art styles. Like it says, it's an anthology about women gamers and just like what it's like to be a woman and really like gaming and that sort of thing. And there is still a sticker on this. What? I must have been really out of my mind that day to leave this stupid ass sticker on this book. Okay, but yeah, so that's what this is about. I bought it out of curiosity because I like women and I like gamers. And I like women gamers. Coincidentally, the next book that I pick up is also about gaming, and that is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Now, while this was not my favorite book, and I see a lot of issues with this book and with the author's writing of this book and how he treats women gamers especially, I did end up buying it because it was like $2 at the store, and I liked it enough that I wanted to add it to my collection. And as you guys may have noticed, I sort of arranged by color coding stuff, and I didn't have enough orange spines, so I was like, why not buy it? So I bought it, Ready Player One. If you're unfamiliar with what this book is about, it takes place in a world where there's one video game called the Oasis. It's basically like a simulation game, and it's really popular, and everybody hates regular life, and they all go to an Oasis to hang out, to go to school, and there is a like sort of Easter egg hunt that was set up by the creator, and our main character finds out the first key that kind of motivates everyone to finally like really deep dive into this, and it becomes a whole race to the end to figure out who's gonna win the Oasis, because if you find out all the Easter eggs and stuff, you get the Oasis as a prize and a bunch of money. It's basically a gaming competition if you think about it. Yeah, that's what it is. Then this next book I got was Nameless Witch by A. Lee Martinez. I'm not quite sure what this is about, but on the top it says like on this little blurb about the book, it says a tale of vengeance, true love, and cannibalism. So that sounds amazing. It just has something to do with witches. Yeah, just witchy stuff and cannibalism, and that's all I know. Next we have The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. This I know I got from Book Outlet. I've been wanting to read this. This is about a girl who for some reason her family doesn't want her, so they dump her in the woods, and she ends up getting taken in by a witch who gives her like this essence of the moon or something that changes her, and so it makes her really special unlike other kids, and that's basically all I know about it. It's kind of sad. Okay, this shouldn't happen when you get Book Outlet books, and it shouldn't happen unless you get scratch and dent books, and I didn't get a scratch and dent book. I looked, but my book kind of came torn, and somebody told me if like this happens to you and it isn't a scratch and dent, then you can contact Book Outlet and like they can help you out, send you a new book, like refund you your money. Honestly, it's too much of a chore, so I'm just gonna like take it. It ain't that big a deal for me. Like, it kind of is, but like, I'm gonna ignore it, you know, because honestly, I don't have time right now to be caring. It's not like that big of an issue for me that I care that much. But if you do order from Book Outlet, I have heard that if you get a book that is like damaged and it wasn't supposed to be because you did not in any way order a scratch and dent, then you should be able to contact Book Outlet and get that issue rectified. I didn't because I'm fucking lazy, but you could potentially. Next, I bought this paperback copy of Bone Witch because Darlene said that the female main character is Filipino, which I was like, oh my gosh, I've seen that book and I did not know this. So I bought this. This is by Rin Chapiso. This also has a second book called Heart Forager. All I know about this is it's about this girl. She's a witch and her witchy powers have something to do with necromancy. That's all I know. I don't know anything more. That's it. That's all I know. Next, we have An Unkindness of Magicians by Kate Howard. I honestly don't know anything about this. I assume it's about magicians, but a fun thing that I did learn about the word unkindness, actually from another book in this haul, I'll talk about it later, is that unkindness also refers to a group of ravens. There's two types of words for a group of ravens, and one of them is an unkindness. So a group of ravens is sometimes called an unkindness, so I'm assuming that the title of this book is reference to that. So a group of magicians is called an unkindness of magicians. Books teach you stuff. That's all I know. That's all I know, and I learned that from another book that was a middle grade book. But you know what? That's what I know about this book, is that I think it's about a group of magicians because they are, maybe these magicians turn into ravens. You know what? I'm reading so much into this title and not even glancing at the synopsis. Next we have Mountainous Chase, The Gods of Asgard. This is the first book in the Mountainous Chase series, which is about Norse mythology by Rick Riordan. I've been slowly collecting all of these books because I just want to read all the way through all of them. So this is the first that I own of the Mountainous Chase, and I got this at a secondhand bookstore, and I did not know this when I picked it up, but it is signed by the author, which I find really fun because I bought this book by chance because there was a stack of them and they were all like for $5, right? And the one that was on top of this one that I grabbed had like a little bend in the dust jacket, like a tiny bend, and I was like, I don't want the one with the slight bend in it, so I put that one to the side and I picked this one up because this one was in better looking condition. AKA, it didn't have the slightest bend in the dust cover, and I ended up getting a signed copy. And I told my brother, and he's super jealous because he loves Rick Riordan and Rick Riordan books, and he was like, I might steal that from you. And I was like, bitch, you can try. So yeah, that's how I got a book that was signed copy. Like, I don't know how this happens to me, but like 10 out of 10 I never notice until I get home, and hardly ever notice even then. Yeah. Next we have Shades of Darkness by A.R. Keeler. This is the first book in the Ravenborn series. No idea what this is about. I think it's about a girl who realizes she's not normal, and then she's not normal because she has magic, and then it turns out to be like some sort of evil sort of magic or something like that. And people are dying. Yeah, I just glanced at something about people dying. So as you can tell, I really invest a lot of time into researching the books that I buy. It's totally not just because they look pretty or because they were like $5. Not at all. I really, really try to think about where I invest my money. Next book is The Magician's Impossible. Again, this was just really thought out a purchase. This is by Brad Abram. I really just thought about why I wanted to buy this book based on the title. It's about magicians. Maybe they have some sort of impossible magic. This magician is holding a gun, so he's probably going to shoot people as well, which I know was a real complaint for the Harry Potter series. Why didn't anyone just shoot Voldemort? Because we got magic, but apparently this magician disagrees. You can have magic and have a gun. So maybe he's just murdering people. It's about something about like this kid being hunted down, right? his father, his estranged father commits suicide, but he learns his father was a secret agent employed by some super society of spies that wield magic. Wow. Girl, I bought this book because it looked pretty cool, but now you're telling me there is spy-wielding magicians? That explains the title, because instead of Mission Impossible, it's Magicians Impossible. I'm catching on. See, this is why buying books because they look nice can sometimes benefit you. You buy things that you didn't even know you wanted. Next, I got the second volume of Legend of Luther Strange. This is a graphic novel series about a kid who accidentally joined a murder cult which trained him to automatically murder someone and turned his body into like a kung fu murdering weapon. I thought it was a standalone. Apparently it is not. So I bought the second issue because I was like, you intrigued me. The next book I have here is The Serpent King by Jeff Zentner. This is a book that I know Juliet Pages of Pen absolutely adores. She talks about it all the time. But I finally bought it because Darlene, my best booktube friend, my best friend, over at House Reading Castle, she told me it was good. She was like, oh yes, this is so good. And I was like, girl, I trust you, so I bought it. So that's why I had it. I think it has something to do with like a small town, and like the main character's father has like a weird little cult religion, so it's like about religion and small towns and stuff like that. Other than that, I don't know what it's about. It looks really cool though. Next two graphic novels I have are Bitch Planet Volume 1 and Bitch Planet Volume 2. Yeah, this is Volume 1 and this is Volume 2. I don't know anything about these, but I know that one of you guys recommended these graphic novels when I was asking for different graphic novels that I could potentially like and enjoy, and somebody mentioned that Bitch Planet was something to look at to see if I could possibly like it. So I saw it in the store and I was like, you know what, I remember somebody recommending it to me, so I'm gonna buy it. So I do appreciate when you guys do give me recommendations, because I sometimes listen. And then I have But Then I Came Back by Alest Laurie. Oh, I feel like that's a Lori. I can't read. I have this whole channel about me reading things and I can't read a fucking, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. I'm sorry. Let's continue. This book is about a girl who comes back from the dead. Like, she died for a couple minutes, a couple hours or something like that, and then she comes back, and like, that's all I know about it. But that was super embarrassing. So the next two books that I got are part of the Random series by David Less. The second book is Rebels, and then the last book in the trilogy is Renegades. This series I've talked about, or I think I've talked about, I don't know. I have a lot of stuff that I haven't edited. But this is about a young boy who ends up being like kind of, what do you call it? He gets chosen and selected to be a part of the special like team to represent Earth on a different planet, to sort of prove that Earth can be trusted to become a part of this alien alliance. And he doesn't really have any special powers other than the fact, or like he's not like has any special powers, isn't like super smart or anything. His special gift is that he is a huge sci-fi nerd. So by going into space and meeting all of these different aliens and stuff like that, he uses his sci-fi knowledge to kind of help him understand what's going on. And they realize a bunch of conspiracies and like secret wars and like things about the government and stuff. A lot of it has to do with his nerdiness and how helpful his nerdiness is to the situation. Of course, he has some awesome friends who have awesome abilities that do not include being nerdy, but the fact that the main character's superpower was being nerdy is a fact that I really enjoy. So we have Retribution Rose by Aaron Bowman. This is the sequel to Vengeance Road. This follows two other characters, but the characters from Vengeance Road do make an appearance. This is a Western. This talks about a kid who is a part of like this Old West gang, and he doesn't really want to be in it, so he tries to run away. And this girl who ends up getting wrapped up in the gang, she wants to be a journalist, and she ends up getting wrapped up in this gang and this kid, and helping this kid try to get away from this gang. I didn't really like this book that much, but it was pretty good. I think like if you have a penchant for really liking westerns, then you might like this book more than I did. I don't really like westerns, so this book was okay, but it didn't have like amazing stuff outside of it just being a fun western that I could really latch onto and hold on to like I could for Vengeance Road, which is like okay, it's fair. Next we have Frog Kisser by Garth, which is the book that taught me what an unkindness of ravens was. This is about a young princess. She's like around 13. She is a princess, the second princess of this kingdom that is ruled kind of in proxy by her stepfather, and he is an evil duke, and she ends up having to go on a quest to try to stop him and save the world and stuff like that. It ends up being really good. It's sort of a Princess and the Frog retelling, but it has nothing to do with like romance. It only holds on to that concept that true love breaks enchantment, and in this book one of the big key things is that true love's kiss or a kiss of a princess can break animal enchantment. So if you've been shifted into something else, you can be kissed by a princess and that heals you and changes you back to your original shape. So it's about this princess kind of gaining allies and stuff, and her kissing a bunch of frogs and creatures to change them back to their original shape and defeat this evil duke. And then the last book that I'm going to mention is Emergency Contact by Mary H. Choi. This was a favorite. I really like this book. I bought this at Target because I don't know what I was doing in Target. I shouldn't have been there. I, of course, spent more money there than I should have because, you know, it's Target and you just gotta be fancy up in that place. But I bought this book there, and this is about a girl who goes to college, and she ends up meeting this boy who is sort of uncles of her roommate, and they end up having an unlikely friendship when she witnesses him at his lowest, and they sort of make a joke of them being each other's emergency contacts, and they really become friends to support each other and stuff. Of course, this does end up being a romance, but it is a really beautiful slow burn, and I really liked it. Okay, it was really good. It was really good. I didn't expect it to be that good, but it was really good and I liked it. So those were all the books. At least I swear I think those were all the books that I bought in the second half that I don't know if they have any queer themes, but they're all pretty interesting sounding books, which is why I bought them to begin with. So if you have any comments about these books and which ones you think I should read, or which ones you think that I just came up with the most hilarious description of because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about most of the time, then comment down below and let me know. Also, click all those buttons and goodbye, internet.